You're live. What's up, everybody? It's late. I know. I'm going to get yelled at. There's going to be guys on that like, I haven't stayed up this late since 1945.
Wow.
That's not true. That's not true. We got a few things to talk about. We'll let some people get on. Give people a few minutes. Hopefully they're I'm interrupting everyone's evening. Yeah, there we go. Just for reflection.
Yeah, that's funny. I've been thinking maybe.
Is the audio any better tonight, guys? I rewatched last night, and my audio was off. I didn't like the way it sounded, so I just want to make sure it sounds good tonight.
Good to me.
Okay. Don Terry, how you doing, buddy? Jim Carker, how you doing? Stephen Eddy, Merlin, what's up, Wiz? Jim Carker says, I warned him about going to Mike's. He went to see Mike Urema today. Somebody text Mike Urema and tell him we're on. He's probably sitting down in the basement. I told him I was going on at 7 when he talked to me earlier, and then my wife said, hey, you want to go get Mexican for dinner? And I forgot about everything else. I'm sorry, Mike. But in my defense, the burrito and beans and rice were outstanding. So at least I forgot you temporarily, my friend, for a good reason. So I texted Jim when he told me he was going to Mike's today, and I said, you're going to Mike's. I said, the over under on how much you're going to spend is $100. And in my head, the whole time I'm thinking it's going to be over. I'll take the over on that one. And he hasn't told me yet what he spent. And you don't have to, but I'm gonna assume that you're over. I can't go see Mike without having at least $100 bill ready to give him, if not more than that. As a matter of fact, I got to get some more blade packs together for my Shopify store. Mike's got sales going through the roof. He's got that whole new series, that live series of baits, which are those incredible new stickers from Crank Wraps. Mike and Chancey Walters from Crank Wraps worked very hard on this project, and they're top of the line stickers, top of the line. So very, very, very pleased with the success he's having, and once we start fishing out of the boat, see now that we're getting bigger, I don't necessarily know where and how long everybody's been around, and what they've seen or haven't seen, or how much they go back and watch old videos and stuff. And I'm looking forward to really sinking my teeth back into, because once I get back in the boat, it's every day until next December or more. And this coming, the next winter coming up, it's not gonna stop us. And if there's another year where it's mild and mediocre ice conditions, then we'll figure out a way and go a little farther south or whatever. And I always wanted to fish Lake Cumberland in Kentucky for those giant smallmouths down there. Always wanted to do that. And there's a lot of other stuff through the Mid-Atlantic region. You don't have to go all the way south, but there's a lot of stuff in the Mid-Atlantic region that I'd like to fish. If I couldn't fish up here. So we're taking this time. I've really needed this time to get Walleye Fest up and off the ground. So I'm not complaining that I'm not in the boat right at the moment or on the ice. I've really needed this time, or I wouldn't be this far. But I'm getting itchy, big time itchy. I've started watching YouTube videos again, and all the people that I follow and watch myself. And the Linders are number one. I watch those guys. I grew up with them. I'll watch them forever. Even the newer generation of the boys I like, at least well enough. I mean, who's Al and Ron? Nobody, ever. But I love those guys. I watch them all the time, and I'm ready to start. I've been fishing off the dock a little bit, but it's just not. These fish obviously aren't here. I'm fishing them enough that if I had fish on that break right there in front of my house, I'd have caught them. I'd have caught some by now. I just assume they're not here yet. But let's see. So, I think as everybody knows, Walleye Fest ticket sales got off last night at 5 p.m. We opened the doors, and at 5 p.m. in 30 seconds, we made our first sale. Sales have been steady since then. We're a couple hundred already. And we just my phone keeps dinging. It hasn't stopped since yesterday at 5 p.m. And all of that right now, before I go to more comments, all of that right now is based on these videos. The people that have signed up for the mailing list, a couple of them have got emails that were in. So when you use your phone and you go to the website, on your phone, a pop-up is going to come that says, do you want the app? And the app just maximizes everything for better viewing specifically on your phone. And if you take 5 seconds and sign up for it, then you get the app, and then you're tied into the messaging system. When Derby time comes, and between here and now and then, all the updates and stuff will come out through that app as well. You can do the same thing on PC, but if you're using it on your phone, it makes better sense to go to the app and sign up for it. It doesn't cost anything, and we don't do anything with anyone's information. It's ours for Derby purposes only. It'll never be sold. Your information will never get out to anybody else. You only will get messages from me on our behalf. That's it. And I promise you, because I don't want that stuff, and I'm not doing that to you. You guys are my customers. I'm not doing that to my customers. Jim Carker says he only spent a few dollars and he forgot the hair jigs, so that just means he needs to spend more. Mary Burke says, "Hi Matt, tickets are bought. Now we wait." I know. Now we wait, but it's a beautiful thing to wait for something that's inevitable, because it's going to come at some point. Don Terry, Walleye Fest. Carl Kapfer says, "Good evening. I was thinking Bucks and Bolts would be a possible way station located just north of Sylvan Beach. Customers drawn from Rome, Camden, Sylvan Beach, and Utica. Great store." I'm familiar with Bucks and Bolts, the store. Have you talked to them, Carl? Are they interested already, or do you want me to just cold call? One, which I can do either of. So they can either get a hold of me, or I can reach out to them Monday and see. Because now that we've got ticket sales moving, we haven't even sent out the mailers yet to the people on the mailing list, and there's well over 2,000 people. And here's another thing. Let me look at my schedule. Talks to Monk yourself for a second. Let me look at my schedule real quick, because if you guys remember, I was telling you about doing raffles based on your ticket numbers from now until the Derby starts. And so the sooner you buy your ticket, the sooner you're going to get in on the raffles. And as of right now, I have 9 raffles. The first one will be drawn on March 11th. And I'm not even sure what it's going to be yet. I've got everything else pretty much locked in. Well, I can tell you exactly what the first one's going to be. Babe, can you go on Shopify for me?
Sure.
And if we have a blade bait kit on Shopify, can you switch that to 0 on hands? And I'll give that away for the first week's prize. I'll give away one of the I1 blade bait kits, my custom color kit. And that'll be drawn on March 11th. What day is March 11th? Let's see here. This is an interactive show, folks. We're doing things live. Okay, change that to 0. So Saturday the 11th. So a week from tomorrow will be the first drawing. So the only way you can get into this drawing from now until the Derby comes is you have to buy a ticket, because we're going to draw winners every week based on all of the Derby tickets that have been purchased so far, those numbers. So if you bought your ticket already, you're going to be in all 9 of those drawings. And I've got stuff. I've got 2 different big time different tackle packs that we're going to raffle off in coming weeks. We've got a possible March Madness deal from our great friends at Syracuse University. We're working on something, maybe a piece of signed memorabilia for that giveaway. I've got local, Jesus God, what do you call them? I'm having a complete brain fart tonight. Gift certificates to a couple of our finer local restaurants. I've also got later on, I've got gift certificates and merchandise package giveaways for the festival grounds, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Some of which have some VIP perks like parking and seating for the concert Saturday night. So we got a lot of cool stuff we're going to give away. Mike finally joined us. And the only way you can get in those is by purchasing a ticket. And I haven't even started telling people about that yet. The tickets just went on sale, but your ticket number is going to be your raffle ticket number. What's that? I got to turn that down.
I smell a candle burning or something. I don't know what's up.
So I lost track of where it was. Let's go do some comments, and I'll resituate myself here. So okay, Carl, Jim G, I made it. Good evening, guys. Good evening, Jim. Tim Graver, good evening. Can't wait for the boat to hit the water. I'm excited too. What's up, Sergeant Major? Kevin Stone, how you doing? Jim G, got my ticket. Are you planning on having a live, up-to-date leaderboard so we know the top 25 fish? Absolutely. And whether you follow it on the PC or whether you follow it on the app on your phone, every time there's an update to the leaderboard, it will send out notification to everybody that's signed up. So yes, we've been working on that. The technology integration is important, and it will bring the Derby into the 21st century. And all of us already have the technology. It doesn't have to be scary. The website will serve as a really like a handbook, like a syllabus. You can go back and you can look. Everything will be in the website. And for right now, there's still stuff we're missing, and we're adding, and we know it. And so just be patient. And I appreciate people's commentary. Hey, and if you have questions, don't expect me to get back to you that very second, but I'm reading everything. I promise you, there's a lot of stuff coming in right now into my atmosphere. So I'm dealing with it all, but it's a work in progress, and we've got 2 full months to get all of this locked down. And it's still fluid. It's still moving. It's a living organism. We're building a living thing that never existed before. So everybody's been wonderful, and I love the excitement. And again, The minute you buy the ticket, if you remember in the fine print at the bottom of the ticket, it says, now you're one of our ambassadors. And you have to go out and wave your hand and show all your friends, hey, I got a ticket to Walleye Fest. Did you get yours? Show me your ticket. That's the kind of buzz that we want around this, and that's what we're creating. Hook and Eyes made it. Don Terry, I'm not sure if I got the app or not. If you're looking at it on your phone, Don, so go to your whatever your web browser is on your phone, type in the address for an Idle Lake WalleyeFestDerby.com. When it pops up, it should automatically pop up and say something about the app. Click yes, and it'll walk you through it. Weather turned to crap, 15-minute drive from BK to my house. we just left the Mexican place in Beeville. When we drove over there, it was clear, and it was a beautiful day today. Courtney and I were out and about and doing some things, and it smelled and felt like spring. I loved it. It made me happy immediately, and this weather turned, and that wind turned around, and the drive home from Beeville, not that it was bad or anything, but it's snowing pretty good. For sure. Aaron Lussier says, got a buddy of mine to lock in his ticket as well. Might be a dumb question. There's no fishing after dark, correct? Or is that okay? No, it is okay. The Derby starts at 12:01 a.m. Saturday morning. Okay? 12:01 a.m. That's in the dark. That's right after midnight. It's 1 minute after midnight. In military time, it's 0-100 hours, which makes no sense, but that's how the military does it. And it starts at 12:01 a.m. and it's continuous until 3 p.m. on Sunday. So it goes to the morning, sunrise of Sunday morning or Saturday morning, all day Saturday, all night Saturday night, all morning pre-sunrise Sunday, all day Sunday, and it ends at 3 p.m. You have to be at the weigh station by 2:59 because the moment that the clock strikes 3, Derby's over, no more entries.
No more weighing either? There's no weighing after 3?
That's what I mean. Not entries. I shouldn't have said entries.
So
you can't weigh a fish at 3 p.m. on Sunday.
Okay.
2:59. You have to be there by 2:59 to be weighed, measured, whatever. I keep saying weighed, but it's measured. So that's your answer, Aaron. And yes, listen, a lot of walleye fishing is done at night, and a lot of your best fishing is at night, especially in the spring. So absolutely, I could see there being a lot of boats out both nights, trolling especially. In the dark. Michelle Love, if you win once, you should be out of the drawing after. Yeah, the ticket drawings, yes, of course. Once you win, then your ticket's out for the rest of the drawings. Yes.
What?
For these giveaway drawings by your ticket number, yes, you can only win once. Once your number has been pulled, then it comes out. Correct. That was my phone. Yes, I'm sorry.
That was actually me. The Shopify link. That was an accident.
Oh, Rob H. Good evening. How are you, my friend? Hiram Moore, haven't found a fish stretcher yet. Anyone have a link? That's funny. Yeah, it can't. Your walleye has to be alive and cannot look like it's been rolled through with a rolling pin. That's a no-no. John Burrows, how you doing, buddy? Mary Burke, posted sticker to my page. Just had someone ask for a link to buy theirs. Woo woo, right on. Raise the roof, baby. I'm referring to the raffle drawings. Yep, I figured that one out. Larry and I can't find the app either. I'll check with Mark. I know he's at a hockey game tonight. I can't believe Paul Messina just jumped on in the middle of his Friday night dinner service. What's up, buddy? Love you. Love you, buddy. I'll have to get with Mark and see Michelle and Larry and Don and make sure that it's popping up automatically unless something popped up and you guys click cancel and it doesn't come back up. We'll see. I got Hiram Morris says, I got 3 buddies signed up today so far. I'm trying. Right on, brother. Right on. Thank you. That's Hiram. That's huge. That's the we're all in this together thing. And at least this time it's not the government saying it and you don't believe them for 5 seconds. This you can believe. We are in this together. The better we do, the better we all do. The more people, the more fun, the bigger the draw, all of it. All of it. Prizes, you name it. So super excited. We have A&P on board officially. So right now, currently weigh stations, and they'll be added to the website at some point tomorrow or Sunday. Now that we have 5 official weigh stations, we have Lighthouse Park Derby headquarters. That will be starting at 1 a.m. All of these right now are starting at 1 a.m. So as it sits right now, all 5 weigh stations will be open continuously for 38 hours, starting 1 a.m. on Saturday morning. And that is Lakeside Outfitters in Canastota on the South Shore, A&P Marina in Cicero Bridgeport on the South Shore, Apps Landing Tackle Shop in Cleveland on the water, Spruce Grove Marina in Constantia on the North Shore, and then Lighthouse Park on the west end. And Carl mentioned tonight about Bucks and Bolts. So far, that would be the best option for the east end, the Sylvan Beach end. I mean, Lakeside's right there too. It's only 10 minutes around the corner. Certainly, Bucks and Bolts is slightly closer if you were fishing the river down to beach down there on the wall. So I'll reach out to them and see if they're interested, and we can go from there. Yeah, that's another thing, and I've had some people reach out. I'm looking for somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 volunteers for various jobs, to include, doing the measuring and some work. So if people out there, and I've already had some people reach out to me, and I'm putting people's names on a list that have said, hey, Matt, we want to help, or we want to volunteer. If you're going to volunteer for a weigh station to be one of the weigh people, then you can't fish the Derby. So that's the rule. Unfortunately, I can't imagine we'd be able to have somebody weighing other people's fish that was also fishing it. It would just create a conflict of interest, I think. So it really will be a labor of love if whoever wants to volunteer, and I'm sure that they will be taken care of in some way. But if somebody does want to volunteer, they won't be able to fish the Derby. I'm sure we can have a ton of fun without fishing the Derby officially. But I don't see any way around that. Jim G, are there 24-hour? Yep, we just talked about that. They're all going to be. Everybody right now is set up, which is why we're going to need volunteers, to the tune of 30 or 40 or 50 of them on schedule, on a full-blown schedule for those 2 days to make sure everything goes perfectly smooth. Aaron says, just be something to clarify in the rules and regs on the page. What about weighing in a fish caught at night? It might be quite dead by morning. Well, that's why we have stations that are open around the clock, and that's why they have to be alive. So you catch one at night, there's still weigh stations open, measuring stations. I keep calling them weigh stations. Dennis Hook and Eyes says you have to clear your history if you accidentally clicked past the app question. I don't necessarily know what that means, but that sounds right. Merlin's got a side pot going with his daughter's boyfriend. So don't. We're gonna help Merlin. We're gonna help the wizard beat his son-in-law or sister or yeah, the boyfriend, the daughter's boyfriend. Sorry, Jesus. Paul, my head is spinning from downtown dining week. I can imagine, buddy. I can imagine. I have to go back to work. Pizza pies are calling. All right, pal. Be good. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, if anybody needs even more of a reason to go see our friends in all our great restaurants in Syracuse, but you go down and see my friend Paul at Pisa during dining week. I saw that they had I shared it the other day. They had a full menu for dining week. And a lot of the restaurants are kind of open their arms a little wider to everybody that might not get down in the city and go out to dinner down there very often. It can be a little intimidating down there, and I'm not a huge city person, and I don't really know the city, like the back of my hand, and I'm never a huge fan of parking in the city. But there are places, certainly in Pisa is one of them, and that boy, it's worth going there and figuring out parking and going and having a nice dinner.
Parking is easy over there.
And parking's not bad at Paul's place. Some places down in the city are a nightmare, but so like I say, stay tuned. Everybody's buying tickets. My phone's still beeping while we're on here. I gotta get back to fishing. I made a couple jigs today. Remember I told you guys this is a side note, and this will be it. We're at 26 minutes, so I'll wrap it up. It's late. I was telling you about those skirted finesse jigs and fishing them, like I say, and I saw that article in Fisherman. So this is a head that I had, and I put the skirting together. There's one thread of black and blue. Everything else is either brown or green pumpkin. And then I just put a curly-tailed Zoom grub on the back of it in green pumpkin. And I'm just fishing that just on a straight retrieve. I'm counting it down to the bottom, and it's just a slow, straight retrieve, pointing the tip right at it. No different than if you were fishing like a fighter fly or something. And I'm excited to do that. That's one of the things I'm looking forward to open water season this year. And maybe we'll do comments down below. What is everybody looking forward to? Like, I always start the new season with a couple new techniques that I want to work into my repertoire, and so for me, it's, if I had 5 or 6 rods rigged up in the boat, I'd have a blade bait on one. I would have probably a moonshine style shiver minnow on one. That's the one I like to fish the most. I would have a swim bait, at least one, but I would have a swim bait rigged up on a long rod. Probably I would have one of those. I want to work in one of those curly tail skirted grubs, but I'd have a blade. I'd have the moonshine. I'd have a swim bait. I'd have a drop shot rig ready at all times, no matter what I put on the business end of it. And then, like I say, I would have that marabou fly or that skirted jig or something else finesse that I could be throwing. And then I'd have a 6th rod would be a bait caster setup with a jerk bait. And the jerk baits too are something this year that I really want to fish more than I normally do in certain situations. So that would really be my 6. Blade, jig and wrap. And somewhere in there I would have another snap jig setup, either for bucktails or plastics. So really it would be 7. But I'm always in the market for another technique that I like to do. And I really had a lot of fun with that swim bait dragging last year, especially last fall and early winter. I caught a lot of fish dragging those big swim baits on the bottom and really, really giving a commotion. and I'm a big fan of the cast and reel. So maybe in the maybe in the comments, like what are your techniques that are already in your tackle box? And I say tackle box like on your tool belt. You know, what are you good at? What are you confident with? And then what do you want to add to your repertoire this year? Like, let's talk about. We have a lot of great stuff to talk about, but let's talk about what we all want to grow. How like, and let's talk about a technique. What techniques do we want to grow with this coming season? What do we want to get better with? What's a technique that really catches our interest, but we maybe don't have a whole lot of confidence in it yet. So let's do those things together, and we can fish those things together, and do the videos and really explore how to fish them, and what's the best way, and what do we have success doing and what don't we, you know? And so I like stuff like that. And I like those kind of conversations, and I'm always open for new fishing adventures, you know, and there's always a better way to catch something, or at least another way. So let's talk about that a little bit more in amongst everything else. I won blades from the double live event, home tied hair jigs, swim bait, and a hammer. Yeah, hammer. Yeah, when the weeds come up, that is another thing. And I've been talking to Brian, and Brian and I will be together more this year. And we're going to do more with showing you how to throw those hammers into the weed beds effectively, what kind of weed beds you're looking for, and showing people how to have success with that, because those casted spinners can be deadly. So that's a great one, Jim. Thank you. More days on the water. Yeah, Mike just yelled at me. Hairbait didn't make my top 5. It's funny. I've gotten so far away from throwing hair jigs that they're outside of my top 5 right now. So maybe we'll have to work those back in. All 6 combining with planer boards and little cranks. Yep, and I'm gonna troll again this year with the new boat, no question. And I like trolling, and there's a lot to be said for trolling at times. And I've spent a lot of my life doing it, but I will definitely be trolling some more, all over the place for lots of species. I saw a lure that looked like a perch. It is made in Poland, and the video said to contact the guy for price and availability. I didn't ask about much after he told me the lure was $73 and change. Wow. Well, listen, some of these giant glide baits, they call them, or swim baits, are selling for hundreds and hundreds of dollars a piece. I would be puckered right tight, just like that, every cast. I get upset when I throw $10 blade baits off, you know, because of something dumb. What's your favorite lures or techniques for night fishing? Honestly, for me, my lifetime has been, if I'm fishing at night for walleyes, it's trolling. You can do other stuff, but most of the night fishing I've ever done in my life for walleyes is trolling. Outside of up north in the St. Lawrence River, and that would be jigging with big bucktails and worms. But yeah, trolling at night is deadly. Is deadly. All right, guys, we're at 35 minutes. Matt, with the new boat, any thoughts on exploring electronics and making walleye? Oh, and market. I'm not sure what the new boat will be rigged with yet, Kevin. I'm 99% sure that I'm going to go with some sort of an active sonar setup, depending on what brand it is. Probably I would think that would be mounted midship. Everything now has side scan, side view, which I learned more and more about last year. Also, the active mapping on the Garmin unit that I have, where it's using real sonar data to overwrite a map and show you exactly what the bottom is, as opposed to the close representation. So, yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry. There's so much going through my pea brain right now. It's hard to keep all in one. There's a lot of moving parts. It's exciting. It's fun. Yeah, sorry. All right. We'll call it a night. All good, buddy. Thank you, Kevin. You're very generous. So the tickets keep selling. We're going to keep rolling. We got a lot of fun stuff coming, and it's fun to be able to talk this out and keep you guys up to date on everything, and to know that you guys got my back and that you're gonna, I'm assuming everybody on here has already bought their ticket. If you haven't, please do, and if you have, thank you. And to both of you, whether you have or haven't, we got to tell everybody else to. So let's keep moving. Thanks, everybody. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. And it was so gratifying yesterday, and to hear my phone beep nonstop all day as people buy tickets and what?
That was lightning.
Great. It's snowing and lightning at the same time. And it just thundered. So it's snowing.
What do you call that? Thunder snow or something?
Thunder snow. It's cocaine bear.
You can't get over that.
No, and who can ever outrun cocaine bear? I mean, you can barely, you can never outrun a bear. You can only outrun your buddy. But now how are you going to do that with now cocaine bear could stop, eat the buddy, and still catch you, That's ridiculous. Just had thunder and lightning there too. No kidding. I would never leave hair jigs off my list for walleye. We got your back. Again, Bob, Mike, I want to get better at that, and I want to pick my spots for that. And that's something too more this year. I this year plan to do more technique specific shows and saying, here's the technique we're going to do, and we're going to do it in different places, and we're going to get some things that we can say to people we think are common rules throughout, and hear what we learned and show people those techniques and highlight lures and techniques that are gonna up everybody's skill level and enjoyment level. Obviously when you do something better, you enjoy it more. I don't care what it is. So we got more to come. That movie is based on a true story. It can't be. Jim, I can't trust anything you say. You're that can't be based on a true story. What are the chances? That'd be like marijuana alligator. If the bundle of marijuana falls out in the Everglades and the alligator eats it, I mean, he'd be like Bob Marley Gator or something. I don't know.
Saying it is.
All right. See you guys. See you tomorrow. Keep your tip up.